Hello, my charmed ones, and welcome back to my channel for another video. Today, I want to share with you 23 productivity tips that will bring you more focus, balance, and success in 2023 if you follow them. So these tips will cover the topics of planning, time, task, and energy management. Consider them the best practices or rules for developing a sense of self-mastery over how you organize and spend your time. We have a lot to cover today, so let's begin. Number one is to define no more than 5 priorities for your life. When everything is a priority, nothing is really a priority. So to begin, you need to get crystal clear on what or who your 5 priorities are going to be for your life right now. You should always be number one, which means that you have 4 more spots open for other people or institutions that bring you happiness and fulfillment into your life. Number 2 is to set your goals against your priorities. Once you know your priorities for the year, you can set goals specifically towards how you want to develop or maintain this priority in your life. Keep it manageable. Only set 1 to 3 goals maximum for each priority in your life. Number 3, break your goals down into objectives. Your objectives are the specific action plans or strategies you will use to make a goal happen. And so there will likely be many objectives that you want to set to help bring a goal to fruition. An objective can take the form of a project plan, it can take the form of a system, or it can take the form of a habit. Depending on your goals, you may have a mix of all 3 of these objective types that you'll need to plan out in order to make your goals happen. Tip number 4 is to assign your top 3 objectives for each month of the year. Just as having too many priorities can be problematic, so can having too many objectives on your plate at one time cause you to lose focus and fail to complete your tasks. Each month, get very clear on the top 3 objectives that you're moving forward that month. That way, you have time for your goals and the rest of your life or work at the same time. Tip number 5 is to create an ideal daily and weekly schedule. Whether you recognize it or not, most of the things you do on any given day and throughout any given week are the same. So simplify your life by creating an ideal default daily schedule that makes time for all of the things you need to accomplish in a day. And then, of course, do the same for your weekly schedule as well. These schedules can be based on times, but what is more important is the thought that you give to assigning the flow of tasks. Routines aren't built through a direct correlation with time. They're built through repetition and flow. And once you get used to the flow of tasks, you can start a routine at any time of day and proceed to completing it. Just be sure you don't overload these default schedules with tasks, and be sure to include time for rest and white space to account for the unexpected. Number 6, theme your workdays. While you're making that ideal weekly schedule, it would also be very helpful for you to consider how you can theme your workdays to help optimize your productivity. Theming your workdays means that you will assign specific categories of tasks to specific days or even specific time blocks across the days of the week. When you theme your workdays, you get the benefits of batching your work and blocking your time, which are 2 very important productivity strategies for time and task management. Number 7 is to create a daily uniform to make dressing a breeze. You may begin to notice a recurring theme with these rules, which is that it's important for the sake of your productivity that you make as little choices or decisions as possible in the moment, and instead opt to have certain decisions pre-made or pre-planned for you so that you can move through your day on autopilot. Having a daily uniform that you're going to wear decided makes getting your day started so much easier and cuts back on the number of decisions you need to make in a day. Now, when I say uniform, don't think of this in a formal sense of an actual uniform. What I mean is that you have a formula in place for how you dress and enough items in your closet to make dressing according to this formula simple. For example, my daily uniform right now is a simple sweater and a pair of wool joggers. Since I work from home, this formula is both comfortable but also put together enough for me to complete all of my tasks or run out for some errands if needed without being improperly dressed. Based on the work you do, your formula might be different, but come up with this daily uniform template for yourself so you can mix and match pieces in your wardrobe quickly for effortless outfit combinations. Number 8, keep your morning routine simple so you can start your day quickly. Several years ago now, the concept of a long, multi-step morning routine swept through the productivity community as the best and only way to start your day for success. But guess what? That concept didn't work for everyone. And in fact, I actually believe it prevents many people from having a productive day when they become singularly focused on completing a long list of arbitrary tasks in the morning. Of course, your morning can be an important part of your day, and for some people, it is necessary to wake up early and do some key tasks before others in their households are awake. But if you aren't a morning person, or if you find that other times of your day would have a greater sense of personal energy, you should focus on doing more important tasks in those pockets of time. I always recommend keeping your morning routine simple. What do you need to do in the morning to be ready to jump into your day with both feet and hit the ground running? Don't bog yourself down with too many tasks at the start of the day, or you may lose the energy you need for the rest of the day. Tip number 9, have a quick 10-minute hair and makeup routine for busy days. Now, of course, this is also going to vary by individual, but just as having a daily uniform can make you feel put together and prepared for your day, so can having a quick go-to hair and makeup routine. We feel more productive when we look our best, so find a simple way to manage the rest of your daily look. And again, when we have these elements of our self-care decided ahead of time, it reduces decision fatigue and saves us time. Number 10, define a workday startup and wrap-up routine. Just as you get ready for the day with your morning routine, you also need a workday routine that helps you to get to work quickly and also helps you wrap up your work efficiently. So, what few tasks can you do at the start of your workday to help you get settled and clear on your tasks for the day? And what few tasks can you do at the end of your workday to help you leave your work and workspace organized and ready for the next day? Keep it simple. Don't overload yourself with tasks in this routine either, and start practicing this routine to make it a part of your daily flow. Tip number 11, keep plenty of inspiration for your goals around you in the form of a vision board, playlist, pictures, video, or anything else that you can think of. Motivation is a feeling that doesn't last long in humans, so we need to find ways to fill our motivation cup if we want to continue to have the necessary energy and focus to accomplish our goals. We can do this very simply by keeping things that motivate and inspire us around us as touch points throughout the day. Things like your vision board, a motivational playlist, pictures or videos that we can watch to help connect us to our why and to our goals helps us replenish our motivation. So where can you add these touch points or motivation refill stations in your day? Think about it and put them into place. Number 12, get a solid 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Sleep really matters to humans. It's an essential function that we need to take more seriously for our overall well-being as well as our productivity. So carve out the time you need to sleep and protect that time as much as possible. Yes, it may be hard to put yourself into bed earlier than you're used to, but it's part of self-mastery to be able to put long-term benefits over short-term desires or feelings. You can make this easier on yourself with an evening routine that centers around helping you fall asleep. Whatever tasks help you to do that, like reading, meditation, taking a relaxing bath, etc., do what you need to do to make it happen so you can get the rest you need. Number 13, spend 15 minutes planning your day each morning. Whether or not you plan on a monthly or weekly basis as well, it's important to check in with your plan at the start of your day to ensure the plan still stands. Sometimes we get new information that changes our focus for the day or causes us to need to rearrange our schedule. And this morning planner check in gives you the opportunity to look at your plans with fresh eyes to ensure nothing new is missed. Number 14, make a list of all your favorite go-to meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's absolutely a best practice to keep a list on hand of the meals that you and or your family like to eat on a regular basis. This is the first step to meal planning and prepping and can save you so much time when deciding on what to cook for your family today, this week, or this month. You can keep this list anywhere that you'll be able to quickly reference it when planning your meals. So on your planner or in an app is totally fine. Number 15, meal plan and prep at least some of your weekly meals to have food on hand. We all have to eat, and cooking is absolutely one of those tasks that takes up a lot of our time over the course of a week. Not just meal planning, but also grocery shopping, cooking the meals, and also cleaning up. The total time and energy expenditure is significant. So help yourself to save time across your week by planning and prepping some of your meals for the week ahead of time. Batch cooking 2 to 3 meals may take 2 hours out of your day, but it's going to save you even more time in prepping and cleaning up each meal individually. And having food on hand means that you're less likely to order out on those busy days when you absolutely do not want to cook. And if you really dislike cooking right now, there are so many one pan, one pot, or even crock pot meals that require very little prep or cooking skills. So there's no excuse not to prioritize this for your productivity and wellness. Number 16, automate all bill pay and savings. In 2023, there is really no reason why the majority of your bill pay and savings transfers shouldn't be done automatically for you. I understand wanting to be on top of your personal finances and spending some time in your accounts reviewing things on a regular basis, but you can still do both. Put as many bills as possible on autopay to prevent you from having to go in and pay them yourself manually. Manual means there is a greater opportunity for human error. And the same goes for savings. Set up automatic savings withdrawals on your paychecks so you protect a certain amount of your earnings automatically. And if you're in a situation where you live paycheck to paycheck, so setting up auto pay is risky for you because you may not always have the money in your accounts, then your first priority should be to build up a buffer in those accounts to make auto bill pay possible for you. Don't just accept the situation you're in as your permanent reality. Work to change it. Easier said than done, but no one said self-mastery was going to be easy. And you are here today to learn what you need to do to improve your productivity and your life, and this is part of it. Tip number 17 is to brain dump often to get ideas out of your head. If you experience racing thoughts and ideas, or you come up with new inspiration for tasks throughout your day, get into the practice of brain dumping those ideas out of your head and onto paper or even into a digital app. Writing things down helps clear space in your brain for processing and focusing on your work at hand. So, although it may seem like a distraction to sit and write out what's popping into your mind, ultimately it's going to help you capture more information to act on and help improve the processing power of your brain. Once things are out of your head, you can then begin to prioritize them, give them due dates, and organize how you want to act on them. But the first step is to brain dump it all out. In the beginning, you may find yourself needing to write out your thoughts more often, but eventually, if you stick to it, you will find that these interruptions happen less often. Scheduling in regular time to sit and brain dump outside of working hours will also help to eliminate these intrusive thoughts and tasks that are popping up for attention into your conscious mind. Number 18, keep task lists broken out by month. Another planning rule I live by is to keep task lists for the month at hand only. If you are keeping long lists of tasks that have due dates further out than the current month, and you're actively working off those lists, you may experience anxiety at the mere thought of your to-do list. I like to say that in this world, time is finite and tasks are infinite. We always have more to do than time to complete it in a given day. So don't overwhelm yourself by giving your attention to tasks that are further out than the immediate month you're working in. I find a month is a nice chunk of time to allocate tasks to, but when you get further out than that, it starts to cause a mental overload. It's absolutely fine to keep tasks with further due dates organized onto project plans for tracking purposes and objective management, but I don't want you actively working off of those task lists because it can become too much. So at the start of the new month, we review those brain dump lists and our project plans and allocate the tasks that apply to the month to the one dedicated master monthly task list to keep things focused for ourselves. Number 19, identify your top 3 tasks every day. When it comes to daily planning, you can create a sense of focus for your day with the help of a top 3 task list. By intentionally choosing the 3 most priority tasks for your day, it makes it much easier for you to ensure that you get the important things done and helps you organize the rest of your daily work more efficiently. Number 20, plan for 4 hours of deep, focused work per day. Although, for the most of us, a full workday is 8 hours long, recently research has shown that most employees only do about 4 hours of good focused work per day. There are a number of factors that go into this, from task switching to meeting schedules, and of course, more casual tasks that require less focus. But the research also suggests that 4 hours may be a daily mental limit for intense focus as well. So, keeping this information in mind, how can you plan for a solid 4 hours of focused, productive work in your day? It may be difficult to set boundaries around your whole workday, but how can you carve out time and set boundaries so that you can do 4 hours of deep work on important and urgent projects? Of course, this doesn't mean we only work for 4 hours, but instead we assign 4 hours per day to focused work where we need to be fully immersed in our tasks and uninterrupted. Number 21, never list a complete project or system on a to-do list. This is a rule I learned the hard way several years ago, that task lists are meant for individual tasks, not for projects or systems with multiple steps. It's much easier to measure the estimated time for single tasks than it is for projects. And of course, projects or systems vary in number of tasks. So writing out the project or system onto your to-do list is setting unclear expectations on your time and energy for the day. So if you're working on a project or system, make sure to list out the individual tasks that you plan to work on step by step so you can better track your work and understand the time and energy commitment. Number 22, keep your phone on silent while you're working and limit overall notifications to essentials only. Our phones are one of our greatest sources of distraction in our day. Yes, most of us require them to be on and working in the day, but most of us don't need to be at the mercy of our phone's ringer or alerts. If you know you spend too much time on your phone in the day and not enough time focused on your work, you must turn your phone to silent, turn off or limit app notifications to only the essentials, and then set specific times through your day where you check your messages and alerts so that you don't interrupt your current task load. Remember, our phones are very advanced devices, so if you want to make sure that you get notifications from a specific person, like your boss, manager, or supervisor, then you can leave their notifications on while silencing others. Be discerning here with your needs, but just because you need to answer the phone when your boss calls doesn't mean the phone needs to be making noise for everyone else as well. And tip number 23, stop over planning, add new tasks or projects one at a time. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Overplanning is a serious problem many of us face with our time management. We often start our month with a robust, some might say overconfident plan, and then add even more tasks or projects to the plans as the day progresses. This causes a time and task management disaster. We really need to scale back our expectations. If you create a full plan for the day and then add something in, logically that means that we need to take something off the plan if we hope to make it work. Be reasonable with your expectations, because I know it's easy to add a task to your to-do list, but that task can throw off the balance for other more essential tasks. At the end of the day, when you overwhelm your to-do list, you aren't getting everything done. So protect the essential tasks so they are not the ones that fall to the bottom of the to-do list. So those were 23 productivity tips for self-mastery to live by in 2023. I want to know which rule that you need to start with first. So leave me a message and let me know if you want me to go into more depth into any of these topics. Feel free to share which of these tips would be priorities for you to learn a little bit more about, and I'll consider making some future content in depth about them. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and feel free to share it with anyone you think would find this helpful. If you'd like to see more of the behind the scenes of my productivity life and business, make sure you're following me on Instagram at MissTrenchcoat. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button for more awesome videos by me. And until next time, bye-bye.